Hi there, I'm Holly and thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to the channel, I'm so glad that you decided to stop by. Please hit that subscribe button so that you never miss any future videos coming up because I have a lot of great stuff planned for fall and Christmas. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a really fun beginner project to use with the Cricut Maker. So this is great for anyone that maybe just got a Cricut and they're afraid to even open it or take it out of the box, or for those of you that are thinking about getting a Cricut and you're not quite sure. So let's jump right into the project.
So let's start off with everything we will need for this project. We will be using the Cricut Maker. To open your machine, simply pull up the top cover. Inside our machine, we have two tool clamps. Clamp B is where the blades go, and clamp A is for pens and markers. For this project, we will only be cutting, so we are only going to be using clamp B with a fine point blade. This blade is the most common and cuts materials like vinyl, iron-on, and cardstock. If we need to use a pen and marker, we would use clamp A, but for this project, we won't be using any pens or markers. At the bottom here, we see the two guides which are used to slide in your cutting mat. For hand tools, we are going to use a small scraper, a spatula, and a pair of tweezers, and a weeding tool. Okay, so these are the basic tools needed for most projects. So now let's talk about what materials we need specific for this project. We are going to be making a sign, so I just picked up this framed canvas from my local dollar store. This canvas is hard mounted onto cardboard, so it's perfect for applying vinyl on it. I'm also going to be using this premium vinyl value pack from Cricut. It has 20 different colors and I have linked it in the description on this video. I'm also going to be using this transfer tape from Cricut with a grid liner on it. And I also have a pair of my Cricut scissors, utility scissors. I love these scissors, you guys. They are actually the best. So I've linked those in the description of the video as well.
Now that we've got our supplies ready, let's get started.
There are two ways you can connect your Cricut Maker to your computer. You can use the USB cable that comes with your Cricut Maker and simply insert the cable into the back of the Maker, and then the USB end into your computer. Now, my computer is a MacBook Pro, so if I were to use this method, I would need a lightning cable to attach to my MacBook and then to the USB port for the Cricut Maker. So I prefer the other method, and that's using Bluetooth. So we're going to power on the Maker and get started with the designing process. So when we pull up Design Space here on our computer, this is the home page. This is where you'll find all your projects. And if we click New Project here, the Design Space opens up into the designing part. So I'm going to go right into the image button here, and then up here in the search bar, I'm going to type fall. Fall is coming, so we're going to do a nice fall sign here for this project. And then you can see here we have hundreds and thousands of images to choose from, and if you're a Cricut Access member, you'll see the little A on top of each image. That means that you can use these images for free, and you'll notice under mine, I am a Cricut Access member, so under each image it says subscribed and says that I can use it. So I'm just going to keep searching here until I find something that I like. So I'm not really seeing too much here in this fall search, so I'm going to narrow it a little bit and I'm going to go with pumpkins. So we're going to try just searching under pumpkins. And then under this search, there are two designs I found that I really like, this Farm Fresh Pumpkins. And then as well, I wanted to add just a little bit more color to this design. So then I also added in this red truck with the pumpkins image. So now that we have our images, we just insert them into our project, and now we can begin designing to fit the canvas that I have. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to shrink this red truck down and then just place it underneath of the Farm Fresh pumpkins. And by how I shrink and move my designs, make them bigger and larger, is just by using this arrow button down here in the bottom right when the image is selected. So I'm just resizing them here, making them fit together nicely. And then once I have them together where I want them, I'm going to click just above the image and I'm going to drag a box over both of them. Now I have both images selected, and I can resize them together to fit on my canvas. So I just measure the inside portion of my canvas to see what size I need, and then I adjust my image accordingly. So now we can go to make it here, and then when we go to takes us to the next screen, we will see that all the colors are sorted onto their corresponding color mat. So when I'm looking through here, I'm just checking to make sure I like the design. I did notice that the 3 orange pumpkins in the truck, the middle pumpkin is a different color and the 2 side ones are a different color, like a lighter shade of orange. I'm just going to change that because I don't want to cut all that different shades of orange. So I do that by selecting both the cuts on the right side panel here, and then I just have to ungroup them and then select them both again, and then I just go down here and hit attach, and then you'll see they're all one shade of orange and it's all one cut, and the pumpkins move out of the truck all together. So that means they're going to cut in one shade of orange. So we're going to go back to make it again here, and then we just double check everything and make sure that we like the colors here. And this is why I like using Cricut Access Images, because it's all set and ready to go for me. I just have to cut and follow the matte colors. So we're going to start, the first color was gray, so we're going to pull this gray out of our premium vinyl pack. We are going to take a green standard grip mat, and we are going to lay our vinyl down on our mat here. So green is the standard color of matte. It's used for most materials, cardstock, vinyl, iron-on, anything really standard, you use the standard grip mat for. We're going to line it up in our mat, and then when our Cricut machine, the C is flashing, we know we can hit the flashing C because it's ready to go. Then the machine just cuts out our first image in the gray pattern, and when it's done, all we have to do is hit the unload mat button when it flashes. When the mat is unloaded, then you load your next color and continue on in this fashion until you've cut all the colors. An important thing to note though, when you're pulling your vinyl off your mat, put your mat face down and pull the mat away from the vinyl. This helps not to wreck your design. The next color we need is brown, so we're going to load that up here. And please ignore the ink on my mat. I was messing around with some printable HTV and I put it on the wrong way. So normally your mat won't have those blobs of ink on it, but it doesn't wreck the design that I'm doing in any way whatsoever. So we're going to continue on loading the colors here until we've cut them all. With our designs all cut, we are going to take our vinyl now and we are going to weed out our designs. So we're going to start with the green design here first, and I'm just using my utility scissors to cut around the design, and we don't want to weed the whole sheet of vinyl because that's a complete waste of vinyl. So we just need to cut around our design, and then we are going to take our weeding tool here, and using the sharp end, we are just going to pull up a little piece of the corner. And then we are going to peel away the vinyl that we don't need and leaving behind the design onto our backing paper. And this is a neat little hack. I like to take the waste vinyl and scrunch it up in my hand here, and then I use it to catch the pieces in between the letters. The vinyl sticks to the other vinyl and not to my hands, so then I have all the waste here in this nice little ball, and I don't have these little inside pieces of my letters ending up all over my clothes or my workspace. So that's a little handy hack that you can try yourself. Then I'm going to continue on with the other pieces of my design, weeding them all until every element of my project has been weeded. For the first part of my design, you can see here how all the pieces just fit together just like a puzzle. So when we're putting this onto our canvas, we just have to put it together just like a puzzle. For smaller intricate designs, the tweezers are a really helpful weeding tool because you can grab the little pieces and pull them up. Sometimes when you pick away at a design too much that has tiny little details, you can actually rip the vinyl. So I do suggest using the tweezers for those smaller little weeding portions. Once all our pieces are weeded, we can begin to put them onto our canvas. So we're going to start from the top of our design and work our way down. So we're going to start with the fresh design first, and we are going to take our canvas here and we are going to lay it out on our work surface. I'm going to keep the frame close by because I want to make sure that I don't apply my design too high on the canvas and that the frame will cover it. Like I mentioned before, this canvas is mounted onto a hard piece of cardboard, so it's perfect for projects like this because we can really push the vinyl onto the hard cardboard canvas. So we are going to take the first part of our design and cutting a piece of transfer tape that covers the entire design. We are going to peel back the transfer tape from the liner, and then we are going to lay the transfer tape over top of our design perfectly smooth, and then using our hands to smooth it and then following it up with the flat scraper, we are going to smooth the transfer tape onto our design, making sure to remove any air bubbles. We're going to flip it over and we're going to smooth from the back as well. And then taking the backing, we are going to peel away the backing of the vinyl sheet from the transfer tape. This is a very important step. A lot of people do it the other way and they don't get good results. So always peel the liner of your vinyl away from the transfer tape. Once we have our design off the backing, we are going to flip it over, place it onto our canvas. But before I place it onto my canvas, I'm just going to double check with the frame of the canvas to make sure that I have the vinyl in the exact right spot. Once my vinyl is where I want it, I can remove the frame, and then using my scraper, I smooth the vinyl onto the canvas before removing the transfer tape. So give it a good smooth over, starting from the middle and working your way out, and then also smoothing over those little intricate parts of the design. Once the design is applied and in position, you can pull away the transfer tape. Try to keep the transfer tape as close to your project when you're pulling as you can. This will help not to pull up your design. Now we just have to continue on with the other elements of our design, laying them over top and using the transfer tape in the same fashion. For our truck design, we're going to start at the bottom layer and work our way up. So the bottom portion is the wheels here and the tops of the pumpkin. So again, we are going to start off with the transfer tape and then apply our design onto the bottom of our canvas. And again, we want to put our frame back around our canvas to make sure that we don't put the wheels too close to the bottom so that they're covered when we put the frame back onto the canvas. So we're just checking here, lining it up, making sure that the wheels are in the right position, and then we'll smooth it out and remove the transfer tape. To finish off our project, I'm going to be using this vintage effect wash from DecoArt in the shade brown to stain our frame. I like this paint because it's a paint, but it achieves a stain-like finish. So all we have to do is just brush this on with a foam brush here, and we use it just like a stain, and then we wipe it away. It dries fast and works quickly, so I really like it, and I like that I can have a paint but also achieve a stain on my wood. I let my frame dry for just a few minutes, and then using a crown stapler battery operated from Ryobi, I stapled my frame and my canvas together. With my piece all done, all I had to do now was display it in my home. So this is just a really easy beginner project, and I know it seems like a lot of steps, but honestly, using the Cricut Access images, it makes it really easy just to create and make projects from start to finish all the steps are laid out for you, and it's super easy, you guys. So give your Cricut Maker a try, or if you're thinking about getting Cricut Maker and you're on the fence, I hope this project inspires you to take the plunge. Leave any questions or comments you have below, and I'll be more than happy to answer those for you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any upcoming content on my YouTube channel. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.